And that's what I'll always have ingrained in my brain, is the sight of the teenagers.
A fatal accident this weekend involving 2 teens has neighbors taking action for change. Plus, how Manatee County is making it easier for drivers to know about road conditions. And a man accused of throwing his 5-year-old daughter off a bridge in St. Pete is getting his court date pushed back. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 6.
Good evening. Tonight we're learning more about the 2 teenage boys who lost their lives on State Road 64 Saturday night. 17-year-old Chase Coiner and 15-year-old Matthew Powers were killed after Florida Highway Patrol says Coiner turned onto Pope Road directly into the path of an oncoming truck. ABC7's Taylor Torregano is live at the crash site now with the call to action from witnesses and neighbors. Taylor, what can you tell us?
Jacqueline, right here is where neighbors say is the problem. You can see cars trying to make this left turn. That red car at the median is trying to turn onto Pope Road right now from SR 64. But they can't see oncoming traffic, especially if there's another car across from them trying to turn left to the other side. Witnesses say this is exactly what happened in the crash that killed a 15 and 17-year-old on their way to homecoming Saturday night. The devastation is evident in the mangled metal that remains.
As the daughter was ejected, the pole missed her by maybe 10 feet.
Katie Pratt was on Pope Road waiting to turn right onto SR 64 when the deadly crash happened right before her eyes. She saw as the black Honda the teens were driving attempted to turn left onto Pope Road. The teens crossed right into the path of a Dodge Ram.
The truck, this is a truck, hit the car. The car, T-boned and basically stopped dead in its tracks, and then the truck flipped about 5 or 6 times.
A father and his 12-year-old daughter were both ejected from the truck, and troopers say 17-year-old Chase Coiner and 15-year-old Matthew Powers died immediately.
It has got to end here. I'll tell you from firsthand experience, seeing these kids and seeing the aftermath of this awful tragedy, it's just got to stop.
Pratt is enraged that nothing has been done to fix what many are calling a life-threatening turn.
I not only urge you guys, you citizens, me included, to get involved and to get Manatee County to get some lights put up on 64. I pretty much demand it. This is absolutely ridiculous. And, the people in office, get it together.
A classmate of the boys who were killed feels the same, activated by her loss to push for change.
She's trying to get signatures on to present to the Florida Department of Transportation to try to do something differently at that intersection.
The petition already has nearly 1,000 signatures with the captivating title, "How Many People Have to Die?" Now, the Florida Department of Transportation says they installed that white median to help with this traffic flow. And in the year before they installed it, there were 19 crashes, but in the 6 months since it's been there have been 5. They also add that they do plan to install a roundabout here within the next 5 years. I'm live on SR 64. Taylor Torregano, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Taylor, thank you. Well, tonight we also have an update on the 12-year-old girl that was involved in that accident who remains in critical condition. Ayla Gross and her father were in the car that hit the 2 teenagers on State Road 64. Both of them were thrown out of the truck. Her dad walked away with minor injuries, but Ayla was knocked unconscious. Today, her mom gave this update on Facebook, saying Ayla has a fractured pelvis and collarbone, bruised lungs, and small bleeds in her brain. She is in and out of consciousness, but is now able to respond to some questions. Jason Bearden saw the crash and immediately ran to help when he heard Ayla's dad screaming, "Where is my daughter?"
She was completely unconscious. She wasn't moving at all. So the only thing that I knew to do at that point in time was to just start praying and not stop praying for her, that God's healing power would come and touch her. And a few minutes later, she started moving.
As for the 2 boys who did not survive the crash, we were just told that their friends are planning a memorial for them at Lakewood Ranch High School this Friday. Well, navigating your Suncoast commute could become a whole lot easier. A new website allows anyone to view traffic in real time by going online before you head out the door. The site shows video footage of main roads and intersections from Parrish all the way down to Northport. Along with watching in real time, the site shows tweets about road conditions and also gives accident updates.
If you want to see perhaps maybe an incident has changed, for example, there was an accident this morning on the Skyway, so there was real-time information about when that was cleared up and it was reopened.
Manatee County says the goal of this project was to help people avoid the traffic issues that they face on a day-to-day basis by knowing which hours are the best to travel along the Suncoast. A link to that website can be found on mysuncoast.com. Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast this hour. Bob?
Well, speaking of webcams, this one from Lakewood Ranch showing partly cloudy skies today. Not much rain out there at all. There's a few showers that are possible, though, say after 8 o'clock tonight, as some southeasterly flow brings in a chance for a few evening showers. Not a lot, but a few are still there. We'll keep that in the forecast. And as far as the forecast goes, with now remnants of what was Florence, it is now moving through parts of Ohio, actually West Virginia and East Kentucky now. You can see the rotation and circulation. There's not much to it, but they're still bringing some heavy rainfall into Pennsylvania. Not nearly as much rain as we saw in North Carolina. Official reports now coming out. Over 35 inches of rainfall in some areas there in North Carolina. This is a tornado watch. That is also a result of the remnant low still spinning through West Virginia and southeast Ohio. We still have flood warnings affecting over 2 million people through the Carolinas now, and that's East Carolina, South Carolina, and also southeast portions of North Carolina. Rainfall totals very impressive. As I mentioned, over 25 cities had at least 20 inches of rainfall or more. For us, not much rain around. We have a few showers, I mentioned, starting to develop to our south. There's a chance for a few passing showers later on this evening. More on our weather coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. We're learning new details tonight of a house fire in Palmetto that left 2 people injured. That fire broke out at a home on 4th Avenue East around 11 o'clock last night. When firefighters arrived, flames were shooting out of the home. We spoke to a witness who is also the granddaughter of the homeowner. She says her grandma rents out the rooms to low-income members of the community.
The gentleman in the room, they say probably was doing something illegal. I don't know if he was trying to put wires together. I heard he was putting 2 positives together or something.
The state fire marshal's office is still investigating the cause of that fire and have not officially released a reason yet. 5 people were inside the home at the time of the fire. 2 were taken to the hospital. Happening in Florida, the city of Orlando is standing by its police chief's actions during the Pulse nightclub shooting. City officials are asking a federal judge to dismiss a civil rights lawsuit that accuses Chief Adam Gruler of failing to intervene to stop the 2016 massacre. Authorities say Gruler fired at the gunman from outside of Pulse but did not pursue him inside. The lawsuit claims that it was his job to go inside and kill the shooter, even though it would have risked his life. A motion filed today by his lawyers say his reaction does not constitute a violation of the victim's rights to due process. The trial of John Chuck, which was set to start next week, has now been postponed. John Chuck is accused of throwing his 5-year-old daughter Phoebe off of a bridge near the Sunshine Skyway Bridge back in January of 2015. The postponement comes after John Chuck's defense team filed a last-minute motion to exclude a crucial expert witness for the state, who is expected to testify that John Chuck was not insane. The defense wants to call another doctor to discredit the first doctor's testimony, but prosecutors say they don't have enough time to prepare for him. A new trial date has not yet been set. A new report is raising questions about the growing role of charter schools here in Florida. Watchdog group Integrity Florida says the state has too many charter schools with too little government oversight. The group says new charter schools are taking money away from traditional public schools. Integrity Florida Research Director Ben Wilcox says charter schools were initially set up to create innovation that could be shared with traditional schools. However, he says many charters are now trying to undercut traditional schools rather than cooperate with them.
These schools that should be private schools are accessing public funds, and they are giving parents and students more choices, but that choice comes at a cost. Research director.
According to the report, almost 20 charter schools close per year due to low enrollment or fiscal mismanagement. Right now, Sarasota City Commissioners are meeting to discuss several topics, including beach renourishment on Lido Key and an investigation into a city clerk. So far today, they've approved hiring an independent investigation service to look into accusations that Pamela Natalini harassed her employees. That investigation will cost the city about $30,000. Later tonight at 11, we'll dive deeper into the City Commission meeting and the other topics on the agenda that could impact you. Still to come on your Suncoast News, Governor Rick Scott making a campaign stop today in Venice, why protesters blame him for this year's red tide outbreak. Plus, how the community is helping those recovering from Hurricane Florence and how you can do your part.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Conquer your next adventure. Get a new Jeep at a great price during Jeep Adventure Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Politics collided with red tide today in Venice, where Governor Rick Scott came face-to-face with protesters who say he is not doing enough to fix the ongoing algae problem. The governor was making his second stop on his campaign for a U.S. Senate at a Cuban restaurant in Venice. Protesters were chanting and holding up signs with many different sayings about red tide in Florida, and those chants caused Governor Rick Scott to cut short his appearance before leaving that restaurant through the back door. And Bob, speaking of red tide, it seems to have caused some problems for some people across the Suncoast this weekend, from what I've seen on social media.
Yeah, social media, some people talking about it, and today as well across some of the area beaches there with that west wind. We'll go to the maps and show you what's going on with our weather right now. Van Wezel webcam showing lots of sunshine out there, a few clouds now and again, not much in terms of rain to cool us down. Afternoon showers and storms are rather non-existent, and it looks like we'll see a few develop later on this evening and then push toward the Gulf of Mexico. Well, we can say goodbye to Florence, no longer a tropical system. A National Hurricane Center not issuing any more advisories on it. It is now a remnant low, and it's moving through West Virginia, parts of Ohio here as well, and this is going to eventually shoot off to the northeast, still bringing a lot of rainfall. You see some of that moisture kind of merge with the front. It's going to move off eventually on in through into the Atlantic in about a day and a half or so. Still a lot of flood watches, flood warnings continuing in North Carolina and parts of South Carolina. South Carolina fared much better than North Carolina, although there is a severe thunderstorm warning there. A tornado watch box in effect for Maryland, stretching down to Virginia. No tornadoes right now, but there's a potential there. Still a lot of rotation and spin in the atmosphere. What we have is high pressure starting to build back in just to the east of Daytona Beach. This high is going to bring us more of an east to southeasterly wind flow, which will allow a little bit more convergence of that sea breeze and east breeze meeting. Tomorrow, not so much, but more so on Wednesday and Thursday, a little bit better chance. You see a few showers lined up there in Charlotte County. Those are pushing off to the west, so we're going to keep a 40% chance for some showers to develop, say, after 8 o'clock tonight and work their way to the coast. Now, we were watching this area last week. We were worried it was Isaac. It's over some very warm water, but the southwest shear is continuing, and so it's opened up to really a tropical wave. There's no centralized area of low pressure right now. It is forecast to continue on this westerly course with that high pressure I mentioned over Florida there, northeast Florida. That's going to keep that away from us. Going to move it off to the northwest for the most part. This is moving to the west-northwest at 9. It will continue on that course anywhere from Texas to Louisiana. It looks like the models are suggesting nothing going to Florida at this point. This is off a little bit further off to the west, so looking pretty good on that front. Now get a look at this. This is the sea surface temperature from the satellite, and you can see exactly where Florence traveled over the Atlantic, and you can see where those water temperatures have cooled, where the little red there, the brighter red, that's where water temperatures in the low 80s. They had been into the mid 80s there. We're still very warm off the southeast coast of Florida, 89 degrees there near the Bahamas. Temperatures into the mid to upper 80s as well into the Gulf of Mexico. So got to keep an eye on that area. That's a favorite area for development in the Western Caribbean. And a lot of times those storms get into the Gulf. Temperatures right now 90 in Jacksonville. Not much rain around the state for that matter. Temperatures warm up and down the coast into the upper 80s to low 90s. A lot of dry air just to the east of us. It looks like it's going to stay there for the most part. This dry air is shifting off to the west at this point. And as far as the rainfall forecast goes, there are the few showers I mentioned that may move through later on tonight. We'll look for a little better chance for some scattered afternoon storms for us tomorrow. Right now it's 88 degrees, feels like 98 out there. As far as the high goes, it warmed to 90. 77 was our morning low. We're going to see another warm overnight low tonight too, above average. East to southeast winds that turn over to west to northwest tomorrow. 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be 2 feet or less. The extended forecast then, slight chance for late day showers tomorrow. A little bit better chance Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 50%. Some slightly drier air moves in on Saturday, dropping our rain chance to 30%. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. Floodwaters are soaking homes, businesses, and streets in the Carolinas, forcing thousands to sleep in evacuation shelters without any of those essentials. Now, some people here on the Suncoast are stepping up to help those in need. ABC7's Erica Jackson shares how they're helping and how you can do your part. Erica?
Jacqueline, good evening. You can drop off items like brand new backpacks, cases of water bottles, and toilet paper to several donation sites around the Suncoast. Even a small monetary donation to an organization like the Red Cross can make a huge difference.
Seeing the flooding is just, it breaks my heart. People are losing everything.
The rising floodwaters in the Carolinas reminds Emma Shetler of another natural disaster, Hurricane Irma. She had a change in perspective after delivering supplies to storm victims last September.
They were extremely grateful. We got a lot of hugs, a lot of crying.
Shetler and other volunteers on the Suncoast are helping the 15,000 people in Red Cross shelters by collecting non-perishable food, toiletries, and cleaning supplies at local businesses.
These bags are really nice.
Local volunteers will start the 700-mile drive to North Carolina next Monday to drop off the supplies to areas in need.
These are our neighbors. They're Americans. They're our friends. They're our family.
As Floridians, I think we really understand what they're going through.
Kristen Burke with the American Red Cross says its Central Florida chapter deployed 36 staff members and volunteers to the Carolinas. The organization is collecting online donations and will use that money to buy supplies closer to the affected areas.
A financial gift is really a valuable way of being able to help the efforts that we're doing, which are then in turn helping those that are in need.
1 year after Hurricane Irma, Shetler wants Floridians impacted by the storm to pay it forward.
We all want to help each other and help the country be a better place.
Unfortunately, scammers will take advantage of Good Samaritans. Make sure your money is going to a reputable organization. If a red flag goes off in your head or if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. Reporting live in Sarasota County, Erica Jackson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Erica, thank you. First responders from Sarasota County are in North Carolina right now, running 911 calls and helping with water rescues. Sarasota County Emergency Services sending us these pictures today, keeping us updated with their personnel's progress. Right now, they're in Newport, North Carolina. Tomorrow, 6 new firefighters will leave to North Carolina to relieve the 6 that are already there. They're set to be there for at least 7 days. When we come back, we'll show you how some baby turtles in Venice took the long way to the ocean.
This week, the devastation and days of rain causing massive flooding. Where's Florence headed? Plus, Paul Manafort pleading guilty, now cooperating with Mueller. What does it mean for the president? World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Kettle's got it. Kettle's got it.
Kettle's got what you're looking for at Kettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Kettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Kettle's got that too.
Kettle's got it.
Visit Gettle.com.
According to a new survey by U.S. News & World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality, we just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit nationalguard.com to learn more.
About a dozen baby turtles are now en route to the Gulf of Mexico, all thanks to Venice police. They scoured the parking lot at Sharky's on the Pier to find all of them and then release them back into the ocean. Venice PD joked that the baby turtles were given a trespass warning. And we want to thank them, of course, but if you guys see any of those little sea turtle hatchlings or really any marine life, call Florida Fish and Wildlife or Moat Marine, anybody that can help them. We want to keep our
I'm sure they're doing well in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
That's right. We are looking at some nice weather tonight. A few showers are possible. We'll have the latest on that. Also, we'll be updating Facebook and letting you know about the remnants of Isaac.
All right. Thank you so much, Bob. Thanks for joining us tonight.